And there's gotta be a reason that you're speaking to me. And there's gotta be a reason that you're looking at me. I wish it wasn't in my nature, but I got needs. I wish I liked another flavor, but when you're cool, you know I can't resist. I knew you was a proper mission, but you stir my blood. I knew there's gotta be a mission, but I got needs. I knew you was a fucking mission. You grab my hand and pull me. I knew you was a fucking mission, and you never say please. I knew you was a fucking mission, but nothing left to see. I knew you was a mission. I knew that you were me. I knew you was a fucking mission, and you changed my destiny. I knew you was a fucking mission, and I knew it gonna hurt me. I love it. Tell me what you need. I'm so eager to please, and I know you like to tease. I get down on my knees. She said, don't look at me. And if you seen what I seen, you would believe. I know it's all my fault. I got no one else to blame, and I climb a mountain to find it's just a trash heap. And every time I'm with you, I feel worth 99p. I don't believe in love, but I like it when it hurts. I knew you was a proper mission, man. I knew you was a fucking proper mission. I knew you was a fucking mission, but nothing left to see. I knew you was a mission.
rap shit. Shadow Wizard Money Gang. Those are fucking old memes, dude. Old memes. I was away for these last 2 days. As everybody knows, Diesel has been on a kick of trying to make up for lost time and to rebuild his social network. Do all that stuff, you know. I was away playing poker. I was playing poker this last weekend. Okay, I was doing that. I'm also really tired. I ran 5 miles today. But aside from that, I do want to say that your boy is pretty good at poker. Pretty good at it. Yeah, so I won $15. Well, I won $5, but it sounds more impressive when I say I won $15. To be clear, the buy-in was 10. We were playing in increments of cents. Okay, but it was just like a fun little game. Try to expand my social outreach. I've realized something. I've come to a new conclusion. Okay, as we embark upon this journey that has detrimental aspects to my internet career, is that I need to just make the plans myself. I've realized that. Okay, I need to just make the plans myself. I need to start developing my own posse. I need to do that. I do have plans in the future to do things, but not right now, I guess. I don't know. I'm pontificating upon such things. Aside from that, we do like the same 5 bits every time at the beginning of stream. The reason that has been happening is because people who are my friends are having like the same conversations weekly, and as a result of that, I end up reheating the same fucking debate nachos, but I'll try and couch it in a different way. Yo, did y'all see Nancy Mace's new tattoos? Have you played Dread? No, I would love to know what that is. Did any of y'all see Nancy Mace's new tattoos? Dude, hold on. Wait, you need to be looking at this, okay? So, are we all familiar with who Nancy Mace is? Nancy Mace is the wife of the husband who has massive knockers. I'll also show a picture of that. Hold on. Oh, shit. Fuck, what does Nancy Mace do? I forget. She was doing something else. She was... Is she just like a lady with scary teeth? Is that it? Yeah, I think she is, yeah. And she was governor of... Oh, she's fighting to become a governor of South Carolina. But she was one of the ladies who was participating in the release of the Epstein files. So, like, the 2 right-wing ladies, one was MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and the other was Nancy Mace. Nobody had seen Nancy Mace for a while. Of course, there was the thing with her husband cross-dressing and putting on big fake silicone breast, but she just showed up on the news recently, and her look has changed. And I will show you that now. Hold on, there we go. Hold on. Fuck. Here. Is this it? Yeah, perfect. So here's Nancy Mace's new tattoos. Wait, just like Christy Noem's husband? I'm sorry, I'm confusing my middle-aged women. It was Christy Noem's husband who did the silicone breast. Nancy Mace is just the other lady that's not MTG. But Nancy Mace got like a bunch of tattoos. And you know what? There's a lot we could say about these. Okay. I, however, am going to take a positive spin on these and say that I am all for our representatives, regardless of how dorky they are, to have more tattoos. Um, so that's my hopium pill on that one. Now, I will say it does look like she just walked into a tattoo parlor, looked at a flash sheet, and said, "Give me everything on the flash sheet." I don't know, man. I don't know. Uh, I've zoomed in quite a bit for these. It's not gonna go in anymore. But yeah, she's got a tattoo that says justice. I think she has, that's either the Virgin Mary with a sword or something. There's also an eagle. She has some flowers. She has a lion. This might be the most millennial politician woman. Did she get all of these at once? I think she did. I think she did. Is that St. Peter? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. I thought it was St. Peter. Diesel, it's insane. I know that these tattoos look ridiculous. I am aware. She looks like she lives in Dorchester. But I would like to see more normalization of this. So I'm not gonna dog on it too much. Other than that, yeah, there is something like millennial manic episode about it, right? There's like it's like the failures of getting out the Epstein files led to Nancy Mace getting a bunch of tattoos, which is how I interpret that, right? But the reason the tattoo options that you get on your Sims character. The reason I brought this up is so I have a homie, and you know, like the discussions I have in real life are almost the same ones that I have on stream. I complain about Flock. I complain about single-use zoning. I complain about ineffective government. Okay. I also talk about board games and other stuff. I'm not an annoying Redditor friend. Okay. I actually am an agreeable sort. But the other one is like the loneliness epidemic, which I'm not going to call it the male loneliness epidemic because I read an interesting article on that today, that I'll mention. But the point is that my friend, she was like, fuck, that hot goth. And I was like, yeah, sister, tell me about it. And she said, man, you know, I re-downloaded Hinge just as like a joke to see who was on there. And she's 35, mind you, okay? Like 34, 35, somewhere around there. Mid-30s. Very, very pretty. She shows me her matches on Hinge, and oh my god, I know that I'm not the hottest guy in existence. Okay, I'm a bit crusty, I'm kind of stupid, and you know, a little autistic. However, I don't know what kind of wall occurs or when that happens, but I'm seeing dudes that are 30 to 35, and it looks like you put them against like a sand blasting hose. Okay, just wrinkled the fuck, like it's like they just hit a crack pipe before taking a photo. On God, I'm serious, and I don't know if it's just because where I live, but like, goddamn. We don't need to base relationships on appearance. Yeah, nobody. That doesn't need to be the deciding factor. But you don't want to wake up every day next to Quasimodo. You know, you wanna be like, you don't want to wake up and go, ah, right? You want to wake up and go, ah. No sunscreen and no melanin. That's what I'm thinking. It really is like oh, you work in the sun, you do hard labor, you get wrinkly at 30, and then that fucks up your shit. Like even me, like when I went for a run today, I was just like, okay, I put on my sunscreen before I ran, but I know that the sweat is gonna take it off. And so I was thinking to myself, is this gonna make me chopped? But yeah. So it was just something I was thinking about from the tweet. Anyway, which way, Western man? Are you picking AOC or Nancy Mace? Pick one. uh I don't know, Diesel. If Quasimodo gave Crazy Head, I might consider it. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's like Quasimodo can give Crazy Head, but do you want to take Quasimodo to see your family during the holidays? That's that's what I mean. It's because Gen Z started hitting the vape too early. I do. That probably is part of it. That probably is part of it. I will not lie. The microplastics go crazy. They must not be good for you. They gotta be doing something. They gotta be doing something. But yeah, you gotta get on like niche dating sites. What's the one for rich people that have like six figures? Is that like Rava or whatever? What's the one? What's the one that you go on if you want to like join the polycule? That's Field, right? Field. uh. What's another one? There's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of all of them. The obvious farmer only gag. Um, Bumble. Does that nobody uses that anymore, right? That's like another one. Raya. Raya. Okay, yeah, it's Raya. How do you get like a background check to get on that one? How's that work? How's Raya work? I need to pull like a defense contractor baddie. Christian Mingle? Yeah. These are rough. These are rough. Raya is a private membership-based community for people all over the world to connect and collaborate. They have like a really minimalist website. You know, it's crazy in there. I could probably get on Raya. I'm not gonna lie. I feel confident enough in myself that I could get on Raya. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it because I feel like I'd be like way out of my depth there, you know. But I think I could lie. They got famous people on it, but I think I could like get on there. Is what I'm saying. It's invite only, I think. You can apply for membership. I'm staring at the website right now. I'm not going to do it right now, but it is possible. It is possible. And it's like not just a dating app, it's like a professional connections and dating app. Get you a sugar mama. So I was like, you know, life is tenuous, he says as a full statement, totally not scary to say. No, but the point of me saying that is that like I of course am trying to build my life with this store and all this stuff and I'm trying to figure out like okay, based off of what I will be making from it, what kind of life I could live. Um Owning a store will not mean that you're a bazillionaire. If I started like a decade ago when I was a child, yeah. But I was looking around because I'm like, okay, I should think about the future. Let me see what places for rent are in my general vicinity, right? Because I drive 45 minutes to my work, and driving 45 minutes makes you crazy. So I decided to go looking on Zillow and apartments.com and, you know, all the usual places. Do you want to tell me why the fuck studio apartments and single bedroom apartments are 1.5K minimum in buttfuck New York? Bro, I'm doing the math. I'm looking at how much I have from student loans, and I'm doing the math, and I need to be making like 70 grand right out the gate in order to just feed myself, okay? Because the student loans take fucking $600, give or take. I have like a credit card. It was emergency related, but I have to go pay it down, right? And so I pay $140 for that, right? And then I gotta like survive, right? So I gotta pay for gas, which I probably spend like fucking $400 a week in gas, give or take. No, not probably 400, maybe more like 200. I can stretch that. So maybe if we're lucky, 100 a week, right? Yeah, it's NY. We expensive as fuck. Yeah, like literally it's bumblefuck nowhere. So why the fuck is it so expensive? And I should respectfully, the places that I was getting 1.5K estimates for, okay? Ghetto. That's it. That's the only way I could describe it. Like I looked at the exterior on Google Maps and like there was graffiti that said rip, I don't know, guy's name. Rest in peace, guy's name. And all I could think was like, 1.5K? You're never feeling that. What? Yeah, I'm not trying to be an ass too. I live in NY in a single person apartment, rent controlled, and I'm still paying over 1K. I know. But anyway, I did the math and like I wouldn't have been able to, first of all, when I did the math, I did not include the cost of internet or utilities. So theoretically, 70 grand is not enough. Theoretically, I could sit in an unpowered apartment with no furniture and no internet on a income of 70 grand a year. I'm a college educated, smart, business owning, pull yourself up by your bootstraps American. What? I know all of you are probably very familiar with this. I assume a lot of you are, if you live on your own, you probably have roommates or you have a partner or somebody. But why in the hell can I make more than one of my parents and still not afford to live on my own? What? Also college educated, there's 5 of us in our apartment. Welcome to New York. And here's the thing. If you complain about this, people say, and by people I mean idiots, will say, why don't you just move to blank? And it's like Flint, Michigan, right? First of all, there's no jobs there. Second of all, the water kills you. Third of all, if my entire life is in a certain area, why would I upend literally everything? Financially, that is actually more reckless. Even though it might be cheaper, like it might be a cheaper bill, there's all these second order consequences, okay? There's all these second order consequences to moving to buttfuck Wyoming or like the Brickashaw, Wisconsin, okay? There's all these second order consequences. So you can't just get up and then upend your life and then go work as like a machinist or something. You don't even make that income when you get there, buddy. You're an apprentice, okay? And the guy who's there ain't gonna teach you. It's like these places are cheap because there's no opportunity. Nobody wants to be there, so the cost goes down. Okay, and they're like, okay, so the cost is so high because you live in New York, okay? So because people want to be there. The market is deciding that rate. If you can't meet that, then you can't join the market. Here's the thing. The market has been turned into a ridiculous speculative asset that the old and wealthy funnel their money into so they could feel good about themselves. So that way when they die, they can not pass it on to their kids because that seems to be a reoccurring thing that's happened, right? And so I was I'm arguing with the ghost right now. I'm literally doing a straw man. Right? But like these things shouldn't be so expensive. The market needs to deflate, okay? Either that or the bottom's just going to fall out from under it and we're going to have Great Depression too. Now, I got to be honest, we seem to be in the fuck you and die America suicide moment. So, I have a feeling that I will live to see a second Great Depression. And all of this comes back to third spaces and multi-use zoning because I was watching. I must have autism. I was watching my local constituency's meetings. Okay, because we all know since my time with my internet provider, I have become very aware. Okay, I have unironically. I don't want to say radicalized, but I've taken the blue pill. Okay, I've gone woke. Once my internet was being bad, so now I'm like fundamentally so fucking aware of what goes on in my local constituency and my local politics, but in both my town and where my business is. Okay, like I have a real big problem about the flock cameras near my business. Huge fucking problem. I'm going to make it a problem. But I was watching some of the meetings, okay? And my town is so small, one guy shows up for comment. Now, there is a humongous plot of land near where I live that is sitting completely empty, devoid of any build-out. What they had zoned that for was the first apartment complex in the town, right? We're talking like 50 units, like a big apartment complex that would add an insane amount of tax revenue to the town. An insane amount. But one guy goes, and that guy is mad because if they build an apartment, it'll lower the value of his house and property. Now, mind you, he is like 65 or older, and I don't think he has kids. So I don't know what the fuck that's for. The bank, I guess, to repossess and then sell when he's dead? But sure. Okay. You don't want it to lower the value of your property. Okay, what's his second argument? And he says this during a meeting. Well, if you build an apartment complex near my house, it'll raise my taxes, he says. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So the land is already purchased, and the contractors are paying to build it. Why would it raise your taxes? That doesn't make sense. You're not footing the bill. The contractor is footing the bill. But let's say, hypothetically, the town is subsidizing this. Okay. Well, you're close. You're close. Okay. So what do we do? What do we do? How do we make you stop bitching about this so we could make this happen? Well, we give you a tax break. We give you a tax break for a set amount of time, and then later on, we give you like some kind of like benefit to make up the loss in equity. Okay. Or maybe when we do improvements that are near your town, that doesn't come out of your pocket. There are things we can do. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. We do this for the I say this like I'm running for government, but We do this for the people that live near where that development is going to happen. And the tax breaks they get are subsidized by all the units we fill. And because there's more units than we're giving tax breaks, we make money. But you would be surprised how sheepish a local politician is to the power of an old guy with nothing but time on a fixed income and no job. So as a result, things don't happen. Now, of course, there are other things. There's like different, zoning, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Fucking all this other bullshit, right? But let's be real, guys. You can just do things. You should run for government. No, I was talking about this with some homies earlier today. I am not educated enough. I'm bad at math. If I was better at math, I think I would do it. I'm 28. When I hit 30, things might be different. Okay? Things might be different. But these things annoy the shit out of me. Okay? It is what I spend a lot of my day thinking about. I came here for Jidon. I'm gonna get there. ADHD haver. Let me complain about development and property and small town municipality antics. A lot of these things are hard. I think right now, personally, I want to focus on developing my social network as an individual. And then after that, then I can start mobilizing all the people in my life to help me do that, right? But we need to get civically minded, brother. we do. George W. Bush was a solid CD student, Diesel. I think you could do it. Yeah, but did we deserve that? Probably, but we should have higher standards, is what I'm saying. You can hire people that are good with math, Guys, I just want to clarify. Do you realize what would happen if I ran for government? We're going to see an ad on TV of me making a joke about how Israel keeps blowing up innocent Palestinians, okay? I'm going to have to answer to my local newspaper why I made that joke. And then... I don't know. I'm gonna have to do. I'm also start with local politics first. I do think I would clean house, though. I do think maybe I'm just riding a high tonight, where I think yeah, I could be on Raya. Yeah, I could run for local government. I just yeah, man, sure. I'm the shit. I'm the bee's knees. Fuck yeah, whatever. Who gives a fuck? They brought a guillotine to a data center town hall meeting in Oregon, so there's hope. God damn it. You guys, I'm gonna be gaslit by my chat into doing this. The DSA will endorse you. Some of them are a little corny. I've been seeing how they operate. They're still on woke 1 in the DSA, okay? I mean, AOC and Mamdami, they got that shit on lock, but they, it's a little bit different, You speak like a politician, and I mean that as a compliment. You're saying that because I do a good Trump impression. Dude, if Hassan Piker forgave my past transgressions and endorsed me, could you imagine the field day that some of my enemies would have? Could you imagine that? My opinions on things definitely align with him. I don't know. There's some he says some things in his streams that I'm and I kind of grimace at, but there's also things that I agree with, right? Diesel, explain your relationship with Five-ish or whatever the money monster is named. It's important you're for... Yeah, could you imagine trying to run for government when you've done a stream on Raz Five-ish? Yeah. You can get Five-ish to fund you. I don't think Five-ish is gonna fund me. There's a higher probability that my beeper is going to explode in my pants, and it's going to be serendipitously timed with the explosive beepers of 5 other people. Okay. uh, God. That's yeah, tell the Mormons they might help me out.
If Brandon or Eric can do it, so can you.
Yeah, but like it's different. It's different, right? There's like one side where you could just be like, I like violence.
For the diesel political war chest.
This is I just want to bring us all back to reality here. This is all because because I'm mad about my internet. That's it. God, just post through it. I would post through it. I'm steeled to this, okay? I don't think I'm white enough for my town if I ran here, but you know, let's just get into it. We're gonna watch the Kayla Hoskins interview that Mike Klum did before we go and we watch Jidion's response. I already have my opinion, okay? I saw that Denki Jabbo went in on it, kind of being like uninformed on things, which, you know, funny, but whatever. Are you hating on your fellow ethnicity? I'm no. There's I think a lot of white people in my constituency might be upset about my brownness. Maybe they're not, though. Maybe I'm wrong. That would be up to the voter to decide. But that would also be a really clippable moment if I was my opposition right now. And I've also just given that to them for free. But it's okay because they would actually be racist, right? And then they could pearl clutch about that like they think they're cool. Anyway, let's just get into it.
Miss Kayla Hoskins. I am 16 years old.
I'm gonna have to put this up, aren't I?
I make videos and music. Indie music. I'd say like pop rock. Well, my dad is a lawyer, but he's very like musical. And my mom sings, so I was kind of born with it, and I've always liked creative work. And then when I was 14, I found out I could write music really well. And so I did. I only worry about my future. That's it. Because I didn't really have time to be a teenager.
Yeah, Jidon talks about these kids like they're his peers. Yes. I have seen like a little bit of it, and I know the spark notes of Jidion's response. I, of course, have a Dr. Manhattan level reflective experience about this, so God, I did the bit last week though where I'm like, it is 2023, a YouTuber has used a minor to try and catch a pedophile, you know, so I'm not gonna do it again, but yeah,
because I graduated high school when I was 15. Well, I did some of it online, and when you do it online, you can, well, at least for my district, you could have done all of the courses at the same time. I got first involved with EDP445 when he messaged me first on Instagram, and I started freaking out. Then he told me he was suicidal, which made me freak out even more. And I wanted to block this person, but it's not in my character to just let someone who's like...
Which is not surprising, because if you guys... I'm going to make a lot of referential refers to Yandere Dev. I'll give you all the spark notes if you don't fucking remember, because nobody fucking remembers the actual problem participator in this. So when I entered the story for this, I had came in and I had heard that there was this other YouTuber, a nobody, who goes by the name Ali MCC. And Ali MCC had co-opted this young lady into to try and get info on Yandere Dev to entrap him, basically. She encouraged entrapment and then put this minor in Discord calls with other mentally ill people that also encouraged her to entrap. Now, of course, and you could say this, both things could be true, right? Because that girl was fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. Like, literally, like, some serious, awful shit there. Like, not a good person to associate with. Like, you could just tell. Okay? It doesn't matter, though, because Allie was the adult in that situation. The second that Allie learned that the child was going to Yandere Dev and being groomed by him, everything she was doing should have been stop, get an adult, and find any other way to stop it, okay? The thing is that Allie didn't do that, which was Allie's main issue, is that Allie didn't try and stop it, okay? She actively wanted her to go get more information on Yandere Dev, which is a huge problem, which is what Jidon did. It doesn't matter how duplicitous that person is. Kayla can be a duplicitous person. Kayla could be a clout grabber, a goblin, a fucking a person who wants money and fame. Those things can be true. But in that situation, in that exact moment, what needed to happen is that Jidon needed to separate her or do something to just ensure that it didn't happen, but that is very clearly not what he did, which is the problem, okay?
Suicidal, like, come into my life and then, like, just leave them like that. EDP found me on Instagram.
But the thing, when I was reacting to this last time, I only, like, goofed about it a little bit, but it's very funny to see a lot of people like EDP and what they say and how they act, right? So Yandere Dev was the same way, where he was, you know, antisocial, never talked to anybody, never got out of his house, right? And all of this shit. And he was suicidal, but everything changes when this minor enters his life. Isn't it? I find it very interesting that the same exact thing, and they talk about it the same exact way between both those two individuals, right? Which almost makes it, like, I understand what people were saying when they say, "Oh, this is turning EDP, this pedophile, into a comedy, into a farce. We're normalizing this pedophilic person by doing both of these things." And I thought about it, and you know, after having watched a documentary and having rested with it, I don't think it did. I don't think it did. I think that Mike Klum, as a director, okay, and I'm going to talk about intentionality with making stuff now. Mike Klum, as a director, clearly had thoughts about EDP and opinions about it. But instead of saying, my thought is, and I think you should think blank, Mike let the interviews and the incredibly malicious and evil things that EDP said be the thing that let you come to the same conclusion as him, right? I guarantee you Klum has the same conclusions that a lot of audience members that watch that have, that EDP is evil, sick, and vile, right? But Mike didn't outright say that, and I think that's where people kind of like get all confused by it. Or there's also the aspect of some of the things are genuinely ridiculous. Yeah, man, some of the things are genuinely ridiculous. I don't think any of those things undercut the actual message and intent of the documentary, right? Because when you make a documentary, you go into it and you have an intention, and then you have the story that you come out with. And it's about mixing what you have and then your intention, and then trying to see whether or not your intention meets what you have, right? So I don't know if anybody has seen Grizzly Man by Werner Herzog. Amazing documentary. I highly recommend it. Amazing cinematography, tons of amazing footage in it. It was a character study, a character piece about this guy who went to go live with the grizzly bears. And it ultimately ends with the man being mutilated and mauled to death by the bears that he spent so much time around. And Werner Herzog develops this intricate picture of this man who's both troubled and also a deep appreciator of nature, right? And the story is about showing who this man was and why he's so important. But then also, it is very good at telling a meta message of here's why nature should be respected, guarded, and kept to where it is, right? Like, Werner Herzog wants you to take away from the documentary the splendor and the beauty, but also to respect what that splendor and beauty is and not do what he did, right? To not think you are something above or one with, right? Because at the end of the day, when you are out there, you are not at the top of the food chain. You are just a piece in a much larger natural puzzle that has existed for billions of years, right? It's an amazing documentary. I highly recommend you watch it. It is so good. It is one of my favorites. Not to sound like a snobby YouTube media critic, but anyone who took away anything from the documentary that isn't that EDP is a horrific freak and that the people who failed to capture him are dipshits, lack media literacy. The message in Grizzly Man isn't mixed between obvious references and scenes meant for content creator audiences. That's true. That's true. I will say that. There are definitely some points in the documentary that are pandering to people specifically like me. And I will say, with that, is that when I make content like videos, especially like videos on FPS Diesel, which I don't really do anymore because I just, one, don't have time, and two, really don't have the passion for it. I made videos with the intent of my peers to react to it. That was the intention. That was part of the strategy. So I did that specifically. And it also muddies the message, but you could like kind of thread the needle. I don't know if stuff like Chris Chan being in it really do that. I don't think they do. I think it undermines it. But I think the overall picture that you still get from the documentary is still like a fulfilled like thing. Right? I don't think it really... It's not like it ruins the whole dish. You know what I mean?
When my account had 20,000 followers off of music that I was making, and then they got banned. I first replied to EDP because I always reply to anyone who messages me, and I didn't know who he was, but I freaked out because he told me he was suicidal, and from then on I just started giving him advice, and sooner rather than later he started sending very flirtatious messages.
This is another thing. I think this is a generational thing. You know, as I've gotten older, like my comfort with who and what I share with people is different, right? Like I'm comfortable sharing certain things with online friends. I'm comfortable sharing certain things with my stream and all of these things, right? And so, like, I get that, but, like, it's not like I'm giving out my address to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. It's not like I'm, you know, doing all of that. But there seems to have been this growing trend in the last few years of Gen Alpha and younger people being very very aware of the dangers on the internet, but then choosing to not try and shield themselves at all. Like, it is very scary to hear that she would message anybody who messaged her. I wouldn't message anybody. I don't message many people now, or even way back. I've never done it because there's like a scary aspect to strangers, you know? But yeah, it's like I've never done that. The most I've done, and I've gotten in trouble for it when I was a child. I remember playing Pirates of the Caribbean online, and I said a slur in Tortuga, and I got banned, and I sent my mom an email, and then I never played the game again. But I never went on like those chat rooms and shared personal details about myself, even though I spent a lot of time there. You know, there was also an aspect of anonymity. A lot of things now encourage you to show your face and show who you are, which I think is a problem, especially because there's no spaces for minors on the internet. Everything is like melded together. You know, yada yada. I could, it's a war crime that I could see a minor's opinion at any moment of the day.
We were messaging for like a week or so before things started getting real, like deep.
And when you say real deep, what do you mean?
When I say real deep, I mean like flirtatious. I felt uncomfortable, and he never really told me his age when he started sending me those messages. But I figured he was old, but like also everyone in Gen Z looks like 40 now, so I don't know.
What the fuck are you talking? Oh. Oh, that was a funny one. That was a certified teenager moment. Holy shit, that was funny. That was a certified teenager moment. Yeah, everyone in Gen Z looks 40. What are you talking about? I can tell when somebody looks like they're 40 or older easily. You can really easily tell. Okay. I don't know. Maybe that's something you develop with age. But like when I see someone like she looks like a high schooler. That looks like a high schooler. Okay? Period. The fact that fucking EDP says otherwise is fucking a blatant bullshit insano lie, because that is the face of a child. She looks like a fucking teenager, okay? It looks like she would like fucking hang out in the hallway. Like I don't know, I'm 30 and people often think I'm 20. Dude, if it wasn't for the gray hairs, when I don't like cut my hair, you can see my grays more easily. Most people say that I'm like 24, 23, which is hilarious, okay? Alex Rosen is 26. That's rough. That's a rough 26. That's a rough 26.
I knew he was an adult, but I didn't know he was like an actual predator because he said it was acting, what happened like back in 2021. And even then, I didn't even like really know who he was because in 2021, I think was when he
Jidon is 25. Damn, dude. Damn. All right. Real talk. When women are a bit bigger, they look beautiful. When men are a bit bigger, they look 40. All right. Anyway, this is the answer, guys. Go outside. Go for a walk.
I was like fresh out of middle school. I was not in tune with that. I was watching Shane Dawson. I was not doing other stuff. Well, I met Jidon way before the EDP situation happened. I met him when he had a contest on Guess.
Bigger men are hot as fuck. Yeah, but they all look old. Drink water too. Yeah, oh my god.
Who's the black person, and I won that contest. I fooled him. And then after that, his manager inside added me on Discord. And
yeah, his manager has said some sussy shit or like weird shit on Twitter and then deleted the tweets once he noticed.
And then, like, a while later...
Yeah, guess the black person. Do you think the guess the black person was like when Northern Lion named all those like female actors, or was it more offensive than that? I think it was.
Leon added EDP into his Discord filled with kids for a Q&A. And I thought that was messed up, but I think that's like another way EDP found me because I was in the voice call that day and I think he joined it, I'm not sure. And then when I told people like in the server that EDP texted me, Jidon quickly knew about it because his manager told him. And from there,
Sorry to younger Gen Z, but they're aging like they did in the Great Depression. It's still noticeably young regardless. Yeah, that's true. I think society is aging Gen Z quite a bit. I think that's happening. I think I have a lot of grays because I'm so stressed. I got so many grays over this past year, and it has to be from all the work I'm doing. It has to be.
Jidon just started messaging me, and he said that like he would take care of it. They would get like a decoy. Never happened. And that there was like an investigation going on behind the scenes. Never happened until my birthday, which sucked because I didn't even enjoy my birthday. And yeah. I didn't go to Jidon with the EDP situation. His manager found out about it because I told people in the Discord server about it. And they started talking to me. Like, they started like, oh, like, what's happening? Like, it would be cool to catch him again, make a video out of it. And I
There's so many things here. A lot of it exists downstream of Chris Hansen as a person, but you know, there's something just, I don't know. The whole predator catching scene is that as a thing, as a genre, is commodifying abuse, which is different from what the documentary is, in my opinion.
was like, well, if you're prioritizing like actual law, then yeah. But I think the reason the law was never in his first consideration was because he did add EDP into his Discord with kids. So by doing that, I'm pretty sure he would have gotten in trouble for that.
You get to hear the call she's talking about in Jid's vid. Yeah, we're gonna watch that right after this.
And yeah.
Okay, so
My intentions with messaging EDP back and forth constantly were all over the place because I did think he was funny until later on I realized he really isn't. His humor is just making fun of communities that should totally be respected. And I guess I continued messaging him because it was very like encouraged for me to keep doing it. I didn't really want to, but I didn't want to.
It is kind of crazy that EDP had an audience. Realistically, the guy was famous for basically making a single poop joke and then yelling really loudly in a parking lot one time. The fact that it allowed him to have any kind of financial mobility or any kind of audience whatsoever is so strange to me. You know, at least with Boogie, he kind of like parlayed that over years into a career and then squandered it with his stupidity. But it's like this guy literally had nothing, came from nothing, and it's not even like he was early YouTube. So many of the things that we consider like it really wasn't early YouTube, okay? Like it was like fucking around the same time as like I guess the culture war, because that's what I remember at the same time as the EDP stuff, right? Like when he got big.
Point anybody.
I don't even think I would say early 2010s. I feel like it was like 2015, 2016. Like the culture was built already. Like it already existed. The EDP was still late. Anything that is like post 2014 on YouTube is like the teen years of YouTube, right? I think we're like in like early 20s of YouTube now, right? With everything how it exists. But I would say EDP is like a second wave YouTube meme. You know, he's not a first waver. He wasn't here when Nugget was put in a biscuit. He wasn't here when you badgered. Okay, he wasn't here when you Gangnam styled.
I was kind of like stuck in the middle of like, do I disappoint my favorite content
At Platinum Ether 8198 became a member. At Platinum Ether 8198 celebrates 8 months of membership. Judian, I promise this will make sense
You know,
later.
it's I'm gonna have a really rough time running for local government with chat donations like this.
creator? Or do I like not and just like live in like a world filled with mixed guilt? Yes, Jidon was encouraging me to continue messaging him. It was uncomfortable.
That's a pretty brutal, unequivocal yes.
But it was also very draining. Like there was days where I didn't even like want to leave my bed because EDP talks to you a lot. Like he talks more than the average person. Like he would want to have like 3-hour long calls and he would treat me like his therapist. This entire situation.
That is not surprising either. The fact that literally Yana right now, they must all be the same. They must all be the same. They have to be.
made me
I would love to know the psychoanalyst, like there must have been like a psychoanalyst who's like talked to people like this the same way that there are those guys that like talk to Ed Kemper to figure out what a serial killer is, right?
realize that Jidon is a very selfish, greedy, and a scam artist type of person, if that makes sense. I think Jidon's motivation to keep this all going was encouraged by the people around him that leech off of him, and I think it was.
I think you can also kind of tell Mike Klum's like what his angle is based on the questions he asks, right? So one of the things that they teach you when you work on documentaries, okay? One of the things. There's two ways that you do a documentary. You either have sit-down interviews where it's like I talk to you, you talk to me, or we do the thing where we sit the person in a chair like they're doing with Kayla. And what it is they say, all right, so Mike is going to ask you some questions. So when he asks you the question, can you just repeat the question as a statement in your answer? Right? So it was like, that's how you do that. So that way you don't have to like mic up two people and do everything. It's a really easy way and how you do a lot of interviews like this for a documentary, right? You turn it into like a, can you repeat the question as a statement in your answer, right? So it's like he's doing that right now for Kayla, which is why she's saying that. The way that she's wording these, I can tell that she was asked that question and she has already been told to like, can you repeat that question as a statement? So like Mike put together all of his notes, had these questions, and then had an angle, right? So he has an opinion on Jidon and Skeeter Jean and fucking Alex Rosen, right? It's very clear.
Also encouraged by his manager because it was his manager's idea, not necessarily his, but he's still responsible for it now that I look back on it. But it does suck, like almost idolizing somebody and then like finding out they're super, super selfish behind the scenes. I feel Jidon is selfish in many ways, but the main one is that he refuses to take accountability for the entire EDP situation, and he chooses to use religion to cover up his tracks in a way. Because how are you going to promote Raw Dog merch, which would be considered lustful, and how are you going to keep selling that while you're turning to God? EDP sent me dick pics through.
Well, you know, there is this very interesting dichotomy where it's actually all just capitalism. So, yeah. Why do you think they sell the rosaries for $6.99? All right.
Out the conversations that we had, they were not asked for at all. I want to make that clear. I was not asking him for anything. He did it on his own. And he was trying to fly me out to Vegas on my 16th birthday to give me, quote, birthday dick. And yeah. When EDP sent me photos that were very explicit of him, I felt very uncomfortable, but I didn't really know what to do because I felt like it was encouraged by everybody. And yeah, the nature of the interactions I had with Jidon were very...
Fuck it. You'll probably not get into it, but she accused Jidon of running some secret cult that defends a certain blue and white flagged country. Greece? I love pita bread. What are you talking about? Tzatziki sauce, bro? Yo! That's crazy. What's Jidon has like a is he like with Rumble or like one of those other Finland? Is he with like Rumble or Steak or one of those other really like, you know, how many degrees of separation is he away from Alex Karp or Peter Thiel? That's the real question. Okay. That's my barometer on this one.
Odd. His energy is like
I don't really believe that, but I will say there are a lot of people that seem to do it for free, which is weird.
Tell when a person is being fake nice just to like get something out of you.
Like if I was gonna defend some country that was not my own, I would at least like to be paid for the privilege of it, right? Like,
and sometimes we did like have long calls. Like I remember one time we talked about Jake Paul and Logan Paul and like how much he hated them. And I was like, yeah, me too, but like it's nostalgia. Like literal childhood memories, you know what I mean? And yeah, I told Jidon every single time that EDP would send me dick pics, but he would never tell me to like block him or anything. And I was very naive. I was like 14, 15. And I wouldn't say he
She
encouraged.
clarifies in the iNut interview she doesn't mean the literal Illuminati, but the general sense of a conspiracy.
Me to ask him for them because I never did. And I don't know. I just think that he should have told me to block EDP, but he didn't. I don't think Jidon and everyone else involved told me to block EDP for the sake of content. And Face Rug, by the way, was also supposed to be involved with it, and he didn't tell me to block EDP either. Skeeter never told me that either. And they lied to my mom, and they were like, no, we're gonna
I really like nothing. So I don't want to constantly keep repeating it, but yeah, it really doesn't. Like, she can be crazy. She could be crazy. Absolutely. She could be crazy. She could be a clout chaser. She could be all of those things. But it doesn't change that the guy behind the driver's seat was Jidon. You know, that's really it, is that it doesn't change that specifically. Like, those things, these aren't mutually exclusive, you know, is what I'm saying, right? It's not mutually exclusive because of the circumstances.
like a decoy. I was like, what? Like, when is that happening? And that never happened. It was just me talking to him the entire time. I think that they definitely used me, and by they I mean Jidon, Skeeter, and everyone else involved. I think it was definitely a sociopathic tendency to use me like that because, I mean, I would never do that to like a fan or something. I would never use them for content at their own expense because I don't think you guys realize, like,
That's what everybody thinks, but then the Green Goblin mask calls to you, and then, you know, it's all over.
get those like flashbacks of his dick pics like constantly. I think it's very weird to get flashbacks like that, obviously.
Skeeter Jean is a really interesting one because, like, I don't know what it is with his vibe, but I get like a really interesting vibe from him, but I don't have any evidence for my theory, so I'll keep it to myself.
He's explicit pictures, but there's nothing that I can do about it. So, I mean, like, I can't erase my memory unless I go through like MK Ultra or something. But yeah, the confrontation video that EDP happened to be in with Jidon and Skeeter was very unplanned. I was hoping to get a sting up.
Yeah, it's like Mr. Beastified pred catching. He just feels like a cartoon character person. I don't know.
But they kind of didn't want to do that because Jidon
I have a
hired
strictly vibes-based theory. Well, the thing is that what I would say would be not appropriate.
a private investigator that found EDP's apartment, his work, and his dialysis center. So on my birthday, they went to confront him. Because I went on my birthday to the cops and gave them evidence last minute and didn't start giving them evidence since the start, there is a delay in the case, but it's still pretty strong.
Yeah, I heard that Skeet played Mario Kart with a pedophile. Yeah.
Because there's like two other
That's clown show stuff.
victims in it, and these victims do not want to be public at all because one of them almost lost their jobs due to one of Jidion's friends. And the sting operation never happened. I wanted it to, but Jidon just kind of rushed it, and he was mentally in another place. But I don't want to blame him, although I do think he should take accountability for things. I don't want to blame him because I feel like when a manager or whatever is telling you to do this, you would assume it's right? So, yeah. No, I did not send EDP any pictures of me that were nude. That would be CP. I wouldn't do that. What did happen when he asked me for them was that Jidon got like a lookalike of me, and I kind of photoshopped her face into Google pictures.
Okay. So the photo you sent was photoshopped.
Yeah.
You put your face on someone else's body.
No. I put like a lookalike of mine onto someone else's body. And it didn't show the lookalike's like face or anything. It was very distorted. I purposely photoshopped it. And this was days prior to Jidon and Skeeter confronting him at dialysis. He sent me, and by he I mean EDP, he sent me nudes through vanish mode. And I was gonna take pictures of them, like screenshots of them, to save them so that it could be used as evidence. But I just ended up using my camera. the strategy of the conversations was to just talk to him, get as much evidence as I could from him, not asking him for it though, but him just sending it. If that makes
Yeah,
sense.
Hansen never cracked jokes. Hansen might be like an absolute like manic clout demon of a human, but he always played the straight man. You know, he always played the straight man. I do think it is very funny that he seems to be on a tour right now.
became a member. At Meadowman87 celebrates 15 months of membership. Hey boss is back with the milk.
I know, I was busy gambling. Right? Like, I think Chris Hansen was on stage with Schlepp recently. He did this. Chris Hansen is going to have, like, a little bit of a reckoning coming his way once Primetime comes out, I think. Again, we might just have to do... I might have to do a Chris Hansen stream. That might come down a little bit further down the line. I think we might do that. Because I think I think it would be really interesting, and you guys should probably know about it. Because some of you are like, Dito, what the fuck are you talking about still? So...
And then we would just use that. Because he already sent it once. But if he sent it like another 5 times, that'd be
easily.
better.
I do not. I bet the old-fashioned way. In a room, smoking a cigar.
If that makes sense. Does that? EDP didn't affect my life at all. I don't think he did. Because I'm still...
Girl, you're like young. You're gonna notice, and it's gonna hit you. You should talk to somebody, is what I'm saying. Like... These things, this trauma, like, it doesn't manifest instantly, you know? You're still in the middle of it, really. You need to figure out what those things are now, because you're going to get older. You're going to get into your 20s, and then all of a sudden you're going to go, wow, I have a lot of things that are eating away at me.
the same person.
Yeah.
I'll always remain very humble. There is an investigation on EDP. He wasn't supposed to know that there was, though, but I'm pretty sure Jidon leaked it. And
Do we think that the movie is going to make him look good or bad? Okay. Okay. Really?
There's an A24 film coming out with Rob Pattinson as Chris Hansen.
That is what I'm talking about. That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
Emoji.
Yeah, Primetime is the movie. I'm gonna another movie recommendation. If you haven't seen the movie Nightcrawler, it's on Netflix. It's with Jake Gyllenhaal. Jake Gyllenhaal is playing an ambulance-chasing journalist in that, and he is a sociopath. You should watch it. I think that Primetime is doing what Nightcrawler did, and I think Nightcrawler has only gotten more prescient as cameras have become more ubiquitous in our society. Okay, so I highly recommend that one as another viewing. It's a good movie. It's so fucking good. If you want like black pilling, like doomer pill evening, fucking watch Taxi Driver, Nightcrawler, and then we need like a third one to complete the trifecta here. Those two are like a really good black pill like shot chaser. I'll let audience decide. What's another like like things that if you haven't seen Fight Club, I saw Fight Club recently. I'm reading the book. It's good. It's also another good one. Super good shot chaser. There you go. 3 different flavors of manic guy who's living in shit. Okay, just all of that. Idiocracy is good, but it doesn't have the same like vibe. I'm something gritty, something like bite your teeth, fucking bite onto the curb type of movie.
things are moving accordingly. I talked to someone that went through something similar that I went through, and they said it took them about a year. And it's only been like, I think, 6 months for me, so I'm not sure. But I did receive a letter from the FBI, or no, not the FBI, the Department of Justice in December. And they gave me like resources to look at the case status, and I did do that.
American History X is also, yeah.
And I found out
I don't think that one holds up as well, honestly.
There is, I think, CP investigators looking into him, and like drug investigators looking into him. I don't know.
Why would there be drug investigators looking into him?
I am honestly not quite sure. I don't know if he has had
EDP on the Fenty.
any other legal issues in the past. I do think EDP will end up in jail. If not, it will be dialysis that gets him at some point. But I think that the 2% chance of him not going into jail is
I haven't seen Falling Down. I haven't seen Falling Down.
because Jidon and Skeeter tried to taint evidence a little bit. Jidon and Skeeter did many things wrong, and I wish that they would just take accountability for what they did. I think encouraging me to keep talking to EDP for their own personal gain of content was pretty immature and wrong. And I think that them lying to my parents, saying that, well, not them, Jidon specifically, lying to my parents and saying that it was going to be them talking to him was also wrong, because now it puts my parents in a bad place and they're nothing like that. And I think that Jadion's way of putting my case at jeopardy.
Walton files 5 for the gritty promise. That's it. That's all I can say.
Was also wrong, because he should have waited for a sting operation. I feel like Jadion put my case at jeopardy because in his video that he made with Skeeter, well, not his video, Skeeter's video, he showed EDP a picture of him with makeup on.
Yeah, your parents need to be looked at. They let this happen. They knew about it and let it happen. I don't know. I think until you know more about the parents, you don't really know. You know, it's difficult. It's difficult to say. It's a hard call too, because if Jidon did speak to the parents, authority does hold sway over people who aren't online, I think. You know, if like a 1 million+ sub YouTuber, like your child comes to you and says, this really famous person, and the parent looks them up, they're like, oh, they're really famous. They must know what they're doing, right? There's a lot of points where I could see a parent not really knowing better, you know? Her mom doesn't sound like she speaks English as a first language. She doesn't. She has an accent. She sounds Latino. So I would not be surprised if she comes from a bilingual house, and that is the case, you know?
And there was a cop in that video that told him not to do that. And apparently
He didn't really push, but he let her control the situation, which is just as bad. As I said, the entire thing is that Jidon should have been getting her to not talk to him, period. That he allowed it at all is just, period, a problem. Like, done. Like, it's... There is no, like, space.
that could be along the lines of tainting evidence. But yeah, I do think Jadion partially quit YouTube because of EDP. But I also think that there is a darker influence behind it, because when you get to a certain level of public eyes being on you, certain people want this from you. And if you don't give them that, then you get in trouble. And I don't think that he wanted that. But I do think the main reason was him messing with the EDP situation. And I think, I mean, I'm not sure if he knows, but there is 2 friends that he has, friends that are pedophiles, and they're famous. But it's not my place to speak about it because I don't know what these people are really involved in.
Yeah,
And
Jidon had the money, the means, the age, the know-how. Like the same way you guys say, Diesel, if you get into politics, you can hire people who are good at doing things who help you do your job, right? Jidon is like, he had the capabilities and didn't. My hot take, if you don't get the cops involved before, during, and after this thing, you should be hit with vigilante tampering with evidence and obstruction of justice charges. Pretty much. She implies it's the Illuminati, but it's really just content brain. Yeah, a lot of it is like, and it sucks to hear, because I think it's a lot less... We want to justify the bad actions of people, right? But the reality is that a lot of the things that, like, drive people to do stupid things are really simple. You know? Why did Gideon do these things? Why did Jidon overreact in the body cam footage? Why did he mention he was a millionaire? The reality is just that he is probably more insecure than he lets on, and views this as a sense of his like entire being, and fucking is clamoring for that at every respect. It's just like an insecurity of his, you know, like, yeah, get them clicks. It's not even like get them clicks. It's like you're chasing being valued by people who will never know who you are. You know? Like there is nothing deeper to it. It's like you're insecurely vain, you know?
I don't want the like Illuminati to come after me. You know what I mean? So yeah. I think the darker reason of Jidon quitting YouTube was because when you get to a certain level of influence, I mean, he was growing very fast. You get contracts, and if you don't get to sign these contracts, or if you don't,
I don't think Jidion's monetary position is why he hasn't been got. I don't think it's that rotted. I think that Jidon has been placed in cuffs before. It could happen again.
agree with these people, if you don't want to sign to YouTube, if you don't want to sign to Twitch, whatever. Well, not YouTube. Wait, hold on. I'm not shading YouTube. I'm gonna just say that. You kind of get thrown in like I don't want to say a blacklisting list, but along the lines of that, you get promoted less if you don't want to. I don't know if I would say sell out, but along the lines of that, I don't know. I don't want to talk about that anymore.
She doesn't know what she's talking about. She's just yapping. All right, she's young and just yapping and has just synthesized everything she's heard from YouTubers before.
I feel like I was a victim of EDP, as much as the internet made me think I wasn't. But I think I was mainly a victim. This is gonna sound crazy, but mainly a victim of Jidon, in a way. I feel like for a long time I was his like little puppet.
In what way were you his puppet?
I feel like I was his puppet because I was just like kind of doing the things he demanded me to do, because I was like such a huge, I wouldn't say fan, but supporter. Like he was the type of guy like I would tune into and watch with my family every other weekend. And I don't know. He reminded me a lot of like Liza Koshy in a way. I feel like I am a victim of Jidon because he encouraged me to keep talking to a pedophile. I do get a lot of flashbacks seeing EDP's fucking atomic bomb explosions. Yes, I see that a lot in my head. Every time I see someone that looks like him. And even...
Oh boy. It's rough. You know when like, I don't know if you guys, I don't know. I think like, if assumedly this audience is like a bunch of unks, but you guys ever run into a young person who talks about their trauma but doesn't like really like get it and know that they're like that's the thing that happened to them? Like, have you ever ran across somebody like that in real life and they're telling you things and you're like, oh, like you see someone say that and it's like they just don't, they know what it is, but they just don't have the words or the support network to know and to know what to say, you know? So like hearing that, you're like, ah, fuck, that's rough.
Not now, but even back then, I would go to the store when all of this was very recent. And I was with my mom at Target, actually. And I saw someone who looked exactly like him, like the back profile. And I started freaking out. I was like, what? I have always liked making videos and any type of creative work. I've always liked to do it. And that video was not scripted.
I'm a 69-year-old goblin that says crazy shit, followed by another guy saying, I'm Batman. Thanks, Batman.
And I looked bratty in it. I'm very aware. But that video shouldn't have been posted in that way. I started speaking about that situation just to raise awareness on it because people were forgiving him for making an apology video. And he clearly was not sticking to his word at all.
Right.
But in regards to me being a clout chaser, I'm not a clout chaser because I feel like people who are clout chasers end up in really, really bad points of their life. Like, for example, Neon, a streamer, he is a clout chaser.
And I'm old. I'm old. I know who Neon is, of course. I'm not, like, dumb, but this is, like, very funny to hear these as frames of reference. Because her frames of reference are, like, from a completely different generation of creator. Which, by the way, it has only gotten worse, okay? Neon is worse than anything that came before him.
Because he clickbaits a lot. just for views and money. Now, me personally, am I an opportunist? Yes, I am. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that, as long as you're not harming anybody. And I don't think I was harming anybody. And especially when you're my age, if you're 16, people are going to think that you're young and dumb. So you kind of have to be an opportunist. You have to make your own opportunities. You cannot be waiting for them.
I thought she was a cloud chaser when she said this one. Now that I've listened to this entire interview, I think she just has like a real... I mean, I don't know, but she sounds like she's like, her parents came here from somewhere and they were working class. And so you kind of get that chip on your shoulder, you know? So I'm not surprised that she's saying those things.
But this entire situation was not that at all. I just think people started calling it that because I seemed very bratty.
Yeah, she has a very grind-focused mindset. Yeah, yeah. I think that's I'm gonna keep doing it. I think it's an age thing. That's just you're at that age.
I think EDP is a danger because
She doesn't like she doesn't know how toxic that is for herself, you know. And you could say that, but she would feel that she knows better, right? And I think that's like a completely valid place to be. But it's something that when you get older, you will know, you know.
a kid doesn't want to have to talk to a predator. A predator will find a way in. He has a picture up somewhere where he is with like this very young like Latina girl. She's like 6. They're all over Instagram. I don't know the account by memory, but that is concerning because he likes kids. That girl cannot protect herself. Whether she's old enough to know or not, he is a danger because he shouldn't be around kids. And he is. He puts himself in those situations.
What were your phone calls with him like?
I don't remember actually. I'm trying to think. I literally don't remember. It was like back in August.
Yeah, all good.
Well, I did find out by you that Jidon was going to be in this. So I'd like to let the viewers know that I don't know what they're going to say, but don't believe it. Because I have proof. I'm just too scared to show the proof because Jidon has a big audience and I don't want them to attack me. But I could show some of the proof.
Proof of what?
Proof of him kind of encouraging it. Proof of him like trying to silence me for me saying that he was selling raw dog merch and turning to Christ. I'm not allowed to say Christ. God. Sorry.
This guy, Jidon, is going to have quite a few things to say. Oh, boy. I think I haven't seen Jidion's full response, but I have a feeling he's going to go in on her crazy style because of the attacks on his identity. And like I've said, I do think that Jidon is like even if he wouldn't admit it, I think he's very much a vain people pleaser. Okay. And I can imagine that he's going to be very pissed about this fucking teen saying all this shit.
Sorry. I don't think a predator will.
Yeah, they did attack Code Blue Cam for the multi-millionaire video. Yeah, his audience is very... His audience is like the... What's Mizkiff's audience called? The POG community? The POG community? Is that what they are? It's all the same. It's all the same. They're all like fucking 16 anyway. I don't give a fuck about their opinions.
Ever feel bad for their actions. But I'm not here to shame predators, although they should be. I feel like everybody can change. I just think that the first step to change starts with realizing what you're doing wrong. And I don't think he wants to do that. But if he did, he would just be much more respected. Like, all I would want from him, I don't even care. Well, yes, I do. I do care if he goes to jail. But I just wish he would go to a psychiatrist because he told me that his dad kicked him out when he was like 17.
Yeah, from watching the whole thing uncut, she seems less like a clout goblin to me and more like a young person who doesn't yet understand the depth of the situation and how she's truly been harmed. Yeah.
Doing similar stuff to this. So it's been like his entire life destiny to talk to kids. The last thing I think people should know about EDP445 is that
JFA, where is Fauci? I do believe Judas Iscariot hung himself for 30 pieces of silver.
he gives relationships 100 chances, but he doesn't give the gym one. So instead of him saying, I belong in the cuckoo house, baby girl, you belong in the gym. And I'm not here to body shame anybody, because I have had an eating disorder myself. But you can't be talking when you're like that. Like, why should I care about what he has to say about me? But just save your kids. I don't know, save your kids. Stop having kids. Stop getting sperm donors because of him. Is he a sperm donor?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's like a lot of it seems more like she just is like out of her depth, really, you know. Hang the Diesel. Sorry. You know, words are ephemeral. Can we not switch them out for other things, all right? Maybe it's all of you who need to get with the times, all right? Maybe someone can be hung in a less nice way. All right.
Yo, what's good, YouTube, man? So I want to address some claims that have
Damn,
been
you loud as fuck. Hold on, let me put them down. Bing, 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 down. Let me turn that down.
going on for a
There we go.
while, and I also want to address some claims that were made specifically from Kayla in the new Mike Klum documentary about EDP, and I want to give context and
Hey, sure, give us the words or ephemeral excuse. Dude, Jidon in this video dressed like one of those home health aides.
up things, but in no way do I want any hate to be sent towards Kayla.
Wrong.
Even though there are lies being said about me, I wish nothing but the best.
Yeah, okay. I just would like to clarify here, when a YouTuber says, don't send hate to this person, followed by the, but they lied about me, everything that they just said, you could just yeet. Is this response pretty new? This should be the first one. This is, yeah, the My Side EDP doc, yes.
Best for her, and I ask that none
He
of you
looks
guys
like
send any hate
Shelbo.
to her whatsoever. At all. So without any further ado, let's get into it.
I feel like I was a victim of EDP, but mainly a victim of Jidon. They collectively never once told me to go straight to law enforcement. I feel like I am a victim of Jidon because he encouraged me to keep talking to a pedophile. They also instructed me to keep messaging EDP, which was incredibly draining. Yes, Jidon was encouraging me to continue messaging him. I wasn't allowed to report anything to the cops until the day of the sting. I just think that he should have told me to block EDP, but he didn't. Jidon on a phone call even told me not to report anything to the police because a private case was being built up behind the scenes. Jidon is a very selfish, greedy.
Bro, he got his editor on this, man. Bro was pressed.
Channel, which allowed Kayla to be groomed. The other claims is that I forced and pressured her and to keep on being in contact with EDP. And the third claim is that I forced and demanded that she not.
Yeah, okay. If you're a YouTuber, you gotta understand if you have like a teen or somebody that's underage come to you with something like this, they're going to be susceptible to just your mere existence, paying attention to them, and they are going to want to placate you because of who you are. Okay, she might have felt that she should continue talking to EDP because talking to EDP gave her access to you, right? You need to be able to understand the second order consequences of your fucking fame, right? And that people might react differently based on your level of fame. If somebody realizes that you're famous, they might act differently.
Go to the police, even though that she was talking to EDP. So we're going to knock them all out, and I'm going to address everything. So first, let's address the claim that EDP met Kayla from my Discord channel. She was a minor at the time, but now she is 19 years old. So let's address that.
Kayla Hoskins is the victim being referenced in the sting operation, and she's not a decoy. Like Skeeter said, this one is for real. But how did she meet
What the fuck? Turkey Tom.
EDP445? Well,
Why does a predator catcher have minors in his Discord anyway? He shouldn't have a Discord that isn't 18 plus. There should be no minors in his Discord. Period. Point blank. Period.
was a huge fan of Jidon, and she was in his Discord server. EDP, after being invited by Jidon to his public server full of children, noticed her profile, found her Instagram connected to it, and messaged her.
Now, the reason why people believe that EDP met her through my Discord is because I was under the impression that's how it happened, and I'm the one who put out the statement that EDP found her through my Discord. When EDP joined my Discord, when he was about to do the interview with us, he didn't join, but he found a girl in my Discord, right? And in her Discord, she has her Instagram. So EDP, being the Rizzler that he is, he slides into her DMs and he initiates contact with her. The reason why I gladly took the blame for EDP meeting her through my Discord, because at the time, I truly believe that's how he found her, and I wanted to take account.
So you didn't like reconfirm. I'm sorry, but you gotta be like dotting your I's and crossing your T's. And then if you make that mistake, you gotta mea culpa that, buddy. All right? I've had the mea culpa much less, but the fact that we're gonna mince over this, not very helpful.
ability for my role in this occurring. But as it turns out, Kayla herself in the documentary stated that she had already been messaging EDP before I had even ever added him in my own Discord.
My name is Kayla Hoskins, and in June 2023, I received an Instagram DM from EDP445 otherwise.
Well, okay, Jidon, this clip and the clips from the interview are not played in sequential order in the documentary, which is part of documentaries telling a full story. That doesn't, you either do know the full timeline of events or you don't. You can prove whether or not she met EDP through your Discord based on the logs. It is not that hard. Why would you use this? This is the weakest evidence in your favor.
Known as Bryant. I first replied to EDP because I always reply to anyone who messages me, and I didn't know who he was, but I freaked out because he told me he was, and sooner rather than later he started sending very flirtatious messages. A while later, Jidon added EDP into his Discord filled with kids.
He fucking lived through it, yeah.
For a Q&A, and then when I told people
that would take effort. It would take the effort of looking up his Discord name and her Discord name.
server that EDP texted me, Jidon quickly knew about it because his manager told him.
Yeah, I don't care if the 15-year-old is lying. It doesn't change anything else. We already have enough proof that every adult in this situation failed her.
So EDP was added into my Discord server to do an interview on June 21st. And
he should have never been in your Discord server because you had minors there. In what universe is that okay? Why? Listen, we can't even address Kayla. If Kayla is there, there's other minors there. How many people are in that Discord server?
Told him.
Let's see.
So EDP was added.
There are over 100,000 people in that Discord server. You added EDP, a pedophile, to your Discord server, and then you're mincing words because this kid got groomed. Buddy, there could be more. What do you mean? We're not even addressing the possibility that there could be more. Not only is that not an excuse, the fact that Jidon did this is so outrageously stupid.
Into my Discord server to do an interview on June 21st. And
this is not even excusable. 0% of what you're saying now is excusable at all. I don't give a shit what you're saying, you fucking idiot. You fucking dumb shit motherfucker. What the fuck are you talking about?
He was banned that same exact day because he never came up to actually do the interview because he wanted to get paid last minute. And even though I had 70,000 people in my live stream, I'm not going to pay a pedophile to interview him. Either he wants to interview or he doesn't. So I was not about to pay that man.
All right, my nigga. So here's the deal. We ain't doing no goddamn interview until I'm fucking compensated, my nigga. You feel me? Like, I don't give a fuck.
Broke ass. Broke ass motherfucker.
You know, I deserve to be compensated for my motherfucking time. For
yeah,
my
kids sending a pedophile questions feels like one of those 3 a.m. Adult Swim bits.
You feel me?
And also, here's the message log of all the things that he said in my Discord.
Bitch, you ain't gonna do shit stuff.
I know it's a lot of stuff, but yeah, so that's all he said in my Discord.
Okay, so he joins your Discord and then he gets banned. He could have spent all of that time that he was silently in your Discord, not saying shit, clicking on profiles to try and find young people to portray on.
He was promptly banned that same exact day. Now, on June 23rd...
I don't even know why the fuck Danky Jabbo gave this any, like, grace, actually. You would have to be, like, literally watching this video with your eyes closed. Yeah, he was in there for 7 hours. There's a 7-hour gap. There's a 7-hour gap. Imagine how many minors he could have messaged in those 7 hours, let alone just Kayla. It doesn't matter who even got there first or when. The fact that you did that is insanely reckless, dangerous, and stupid.
That is the day that Kayla at least went public in my Discord server, telling people in the Discord that EDP was talking to her. She was saying, hey, is this the real EDP account? Because if it is, he just messaged me. Now, I know you guys are saying, Jidon, that says deleted user. How do you know that that's her? Well, we did a lot of digging through the Discord server, and this is some evidence to show that it's her because we have old screenshots and everything. But to fully show you that this deleted user is her, she actually posted a photo of her ID photo on the Discord server saying how much she hated her photo. So yeah, this is for sure her. Keep in mind, she's the only one who alleges that EDP hit her up from my Discord server. Nobody else has ever came out saying that EDP hit them up from my Discord server. So
No, wait. So because she's the only minor who said she got groomed from your Discord server, that means he didn't groom anybody from your Discord server? Could it possibly be that these minors are embarrassed and scared and don't want to tell their favorite YouTuber that they got groomed from his Discord server because they are worried that he's going to put out a 30-minute video blasting the shit out of them? What? That is not acceptable in any universe. I love this. I've never seen somebody be so... This is so stupid. This is incredible with how ignorant it is.
out of the 130,000 people, she was the only one. And
That doesn't mean he didn't. That doesn't mean he didn't. It is so unlikely now that we would get more too, right? Because you would have terrified the possibility of another victim coming forward if there is another victim. And we know that EDP plays the field when he predates because we have tons of examples of him doing that. He even sent unsolicited shit pictures to the director of the documentary.
and she goes public with it 2 days later after we did the interview with EDP, and she's telling the Discord that EDP's talking with her.
I'm sorry, this sounds like a fucking... What do you... This is like the Scarlet Reaper reverse Predators argument is what it sounds like, right? The way he's making it sound makes it sound like this child predated on EDP. That is the way that it is sounding when he is describing this story.
This is the craziest hill to die on.
This is absolutely one of the most ridiculous hills to die on.
So one of the members in my Discord said, send a screenshot. And for some reason, Kayla says, I'll send one real zoomed in for you. And she zooms it in only on the sup that he said. And to show...
I was in a Destiny 2 raid earlier with a guy who praised Jidon and Mr. T Lexify. It made the whole raid awkward as fuck. And he kept yapping the whole time. I don't believe you.
that this really is him. When she showed us the messages, as you guys can see, EDP said sup. Now, I am going to be real. I do not 100% know if anything was said before that sup. I am going to go off of her word. She says that EDP hit her up first, but I do find it a little weird that she zoomed in on that sup when someone asked for a screenshot.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter, Jidon. It literally doesn't matter. Why are we... It's a little weird. It doesn't matter. He's like 40, okay? He's 40, bro.
Now, when she first went public in my Discord server about talking to EDP, random members in my server were telling her to...
You're just a chronic yapping 21-year-old who said Mr. T Lexify beat the allegations. I'm very worried for young men. That is it. That's the statement.
block him, telling her to get away.
Yeah, raw dog talk. Jesus.
Report him and just telling her to just stop being in contact with him because he's a predator. And every time somebody would tell her something about stop communicating with him, she never replied to those comments. She also made these posts in the Discord asking users if she should troll him. And then she also puts in there, should I be a decoy? Should I do a catch a predator? Nobody replied to that message. Now, keep in mind,
all of those things are bad. I'm not saying what she did was good in that regard. Yeah, but you knew about Kayla. You could have stepped in. You could have stopped it. Okay? You have the clout capital. You have the respect and authority as Jidon to shut it down.
These messages that she had posted in my Discord were nearly 2 weeks before I even knew about the situation.
When I told people like in the server that EDP texted me, Jidon quickly knew about it because his manager told him.
And also, I have no idea how long they were talking previous to when she put these messages in my Discord server. I just can't confirm that. Now, fast forward on June 28th, so this is 5 days after she first went public in my Discord server saying that she was talking to EDP, she was telling users in my public VC of a Discord of 130,000 people that she was talking to EDP. And this is what the users in that VC told her when she was telling them that she was talking to a predator and that she's underage.
In the text messages, do you say your
Hold on, let me slow this down.
age?
Yes.
Okay,
Like,
good.
clearly and multiple times?
Yeah.
And he, like, yeah, I mean, that's straight up
It's
wild.
insane.
You can just send this
He
shit to
keeps
the FBI
asking
tip line
me.
if you want.
And again, after all of these people told her that she should stop talking.
That is not what that clip said, you fucking milk dud. Let's listen to that again.
Okay,
Like,
good.
clearly and multiple
Messages
When she was telling them that she was talking to a predator and that she's underage.
in the text messages. Do you state your age?
Yes.
Okay,
like,
good.
clearly and multiple times.
Did you hear that guy? Did you say you're underage? Okay, good. Right? That guy's like, great, you got the evidence. He's not saying don't talk to her. He's saying, did you make it sound really bad?
There is no way to come out of this looking good, just take the L.
Yeah.
And he, like, yeah, I mean, that's straight up
It's
wild.
insane.
Yeah, these guys are just like, yeah, that's wild. This is not a clip of these people, these strangers saying, stop talking to her. This is a clip of them going, that's crazy. Did you send it to the police? That is not them saying, stop talking to her. Stop talking to him. Like, what?
You can just send this
He
shit to
keeps
the FBI
asking
tip line
me.
if you want.
And again, after all of these people told her that she should.
Yeah, you could just send that shit to the FBI tip line if you want. None of that. None of that. None of that was like, shut it down, shut it down. None of that was like, stop talking to him.
Stop talking with him and go to law enforcement. She just never responded to them.
I mean, what are you gonna do from here? You're gonna like call the police? I guess.
Yeah, but I guess I'm trying to get more.
Yeah, and then this is the point where literally anybody here, which I am going to assume that everybody in this VC is a minor until proven otherwise. So I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say that some weird freak is recording all of these minors in a Discord server. I don't care.
So, and then I need to get like, I don't know.
Now, fast forward.
She doesn't know because she's a fucking teenager, brother.
So when I found out about this whole situation, when I first got on the call with her, I let her know I didn't feel comfortable with her talking with a predator, with her being underage. So I came up with some clever ideas to where we could switch off and I could take over communication and she wouldn't have to. Here's one of those examples that I gave her.
So we're going to use a real minor's account to try and get some fucking thing here out of EDP. What are you fucking kidding me?
Maybe we could say something like, hey, my parents switched providers and I couldn't get my number, so this is my new one. And then it'd be a number that we could text through. And granted,
Inside recorded the call his mod. Okay.
in that call, she did agree that that was a good idea, but she never gave over the communication to me.
Why is it her responsibility?
Nor Skeeter. Now, I really don't know why she never really wanted to give us over either the information for us to continue talking to him or even just saying that her number was messed up so we could talk to him on a different number. But when going through her messages in my Discord, I did find this thread of her and I'm gonna just let you guys hear it. So someone in my Discord rudely tells her that you taking credit for clout chasing a predator.
That person, I again am going to assume is a minor and is an idiot. Okay, so okay.
She replies and said, no, I meant like I'm not gonna go to trial after trial to not get credited. He's literally going to jail because of me.
I don't care. She's 15. Why have you not shut this down? I don't. I'm sorry. I laid into a YouTuber who was nearly 40 years old because she didn't stop this. I can't believe it. I feel like I'm reliving one of the most infuriating years of my life, brother. You might actually be one of the dumbest people ever. I cannot believe this.
saving these streets. Stop. Also, she responded to somebody who rudely told her that all she wanted was clout, and she said, if another YouTuber is gonna make clout off of my situation, so am I. TF, that's wrong to take full credit off of something. You're just too young to realize it. And
the 15-year-old
Crisp Rat became a member. At Crisp Rat celebrates 33 months of membership. Minor idiot watching a major idiot.
Yeah,
I know it's deleted user on deleted user, so I'm going to show you guys that at least this one is specifically hers. Somebody that lives in a different time zone as her, but as you guys can see, it's still 08 on the same day. They said, Kayla Hoskins, today at 8:08 p.m. If another YouTuber is going to make clout off of my situation, so am I, TF. So that
this guy goes straight to hell, brother. This guy is not seeing the pearly gates. They're gonna fucking he's gonna die, okay, and it's gonna be he's gonna have his fucking heart weighed against the weight of a feather, and he's going straight to the place where the alligators kill you.
That's just to show that this was 100% her saying this. And the crazy thing is this isn't about a clout situation, because it's really a tragic one. This man was talking to who he knew to be a 15-year-old girl, and he continued having sexual conversation, which is absolutely horrible, and EDP should be thrown under the jail cell. And
yes, he should. Now let's talk about your problems here, Mr. Jidon.
in my first call with her, after I checked up on her to make sure that she was okay, I even let her know that I wanted her to be a ghost in this entire situation. And don't worry about your privacy and everything, Kayla. You're gonna be a ghost in all of this. The only people that I wanted to know that she was personally involved in this and that she had been talking to him is her parents, which I also told them. Sure, you're aware of, like,
Oh my god. Oh my god.
you know, everything that's happening.
Yes, my daughter always communicates to me.
Oh my god, I'm gonna fucking explode. Oh. Yeah, this really just reaffirms, you know, I think a lot of young people, hell, even old people, they kind of like want to be a creator to kind of get out of the rat race. This is bad. This is so bad.
I think she considers me her best friend.
Ay, Dios. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. I'm like the robot from Power Rangers. Ay, ay, ay. Oh.
Oh, that's awesome. And B,
oh boy,
law enforcement. I didn't want anybody else and nor the world to know that this minor was talking to EDP. That's why me and Skeeter wanted to take over communication. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think we should I'll be like, yo, could you give us your information? We'll give it right back to you. You can change it. We just don't feel comfortable with conducting the investigation with an actual 15-year-old talking to him.
Yeah, basically. Or if she can get him to, text her, and we can set up.
Why do we not see the call here? Why is it like some gray screen?
Account.
And well, yeah. Just set up a new one, yeah. And even though I wasn't doing preg catching back then, I even knew that cases like this could take a while. So we had actually made a pact that we weren't going to go public with anything about the EDP case until EDP was arrested. Now I know what you guys are thinking, Jidon.
But you were like teasing it.
Literally in a cupcake costume confronting EDP, and you posted that on your Instagram, so how could you not want anybody to know about it? Only reason why I posted that is because on August 27th, Kayla had texted me saying that the detectives told her that it was okay for her to post a video to talk about the situation.
She's 15! What?
Which, looking back on now, I know is pretty weird, and
She's lying to you! You stupid fuck! I don't understand. I don't understand why there's always these like grown ass people who are like getting their shit run around in the moment by children, bro.
Personally, highly doubt that a detective would tell a minor to come out and make a YouTube video about a situation with a predator. But nonetheless, Kayla went public first about this entire situation.
Okay, so this kid goes public first with this, and so you go, all right, let's make content. Let's make content. The cat's out of the bag. Maybe we wait and have a sense of decorum here. Perhaps we don't escalate the situation by showing up dressed as a cupcake to his fucking dialysis. You know, the patient hunter kills the deer. Okay? The patient hunter kills the deer. I'm sure Sun Tzu wrote something about being patient, too. All right? Clearly, some of you don't read.
Situation, not only going public with it, but also dropping the chat logs as well.
Hello, my name is Kayla and I am unfortunately
Oh, fucking EDP should be put into a big blender.
EDP's victim. I am 16, I'm turning 17, and EDP first started talking to me when I was 15. He messaged me first and I told him my age and he didn't block me.
So that is the only reason why me and Skeeter went public with it afterwards.
You, first of all, the second that you found out about this young lady, you should have gone to the police, okay? They should have been involved from moment one, the second you heard about it, especially because you knew Skeeter. And assumedly, if Skeeter's not a big fucking moron, he has connections in the police.
Because everybody already knew that we were involved in the situation. So we let them know, hey, this is what happened. But the plan from the beginning was...
I need a safe place to say this, but I fucking hate her bangs. Yeah, her bangs were... Those are home done bangs. Let's be real.
To make sure that this all goes through and that EDP was arrested, then we were going to post about it. And to prove that to you guys, here's an IG live that I did the day that we caught EDP that someone had screen recorded where...
Yeah, she can still have bad bangs and be a victim.
Didn't let anybody know who we caught. All we said was that we caught somebody big. Y'all know what we do. We would tell you guys who we just caught. But legally, we can't. But
It's big.
it's big. The person that we're talking about, he talked to a real underage person. But we can't say who he is. But you guys will find out very, very, very soon.
Maybe in a couple years.
Bro, they're like teasing a fucking pedo release.
Possibly a couple years. Like, that's how bad this is. But again, I want it to be known that I don't want any hate to be sent towards Kayla at all.
He just spent 14 minutes trying to prime it. You know how, okay, I've said this before, and there are creators who, when they get into beef, they do shit like this. You could just say, I fucking hate your guts. I think he's a piece of shit. Go fuck yourself. Die, 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 or whatever, right? Any of those things. You can say the thing without saying the thing. You know what I mean? You could say something without saying something, right? The only time that, and it's always fucking YouTubers who do this. They do this as like a plausible deniability where they're like, I didn't say that. I didn't say that, right? But, you know, if you aren't an idiot, you can put two and two together and understand that they don't need to say the thing to say the thing, right? Which is something that I've gotten mad at other people for in the past and gotten into shit with them because they do that, right? So, like, if you're just going to say it, just fucking say it, okay? You don't like that Kayla made you look bad. You think she's a little bit of a liar. You think that you did everything right. Say, I think I did everything right. Kayla is a liar. Kayla is kind of crazy. I don't think anybody should listen to her. Just fucking say it. Why the fuck are you trying to talk out of both sides of your mouth?
She is a young woman, And genuinely, I would want her to move past this, man. You know, that's why I didn't want her name to be out there or her name to be associated with this, because, bro, nobody wants to be known as the person who got groomed by EDP. About a year ago, she dropped a video titled "What Jidon Did Will Shock You."
That's a crazy thumbnail, bro. What the fuck? These kids are pumping out some crazy thumbnails. I need to know how to do that. That's a good thumbnail. What the fuck?
And this is what she had to say.
When I realized something was wrong, I spoke to a moderator in Jidion's Discord server.
Who did this? Is this an AI edit of the video? What the fuck? Why is this so high quality?
Who happened to be someone I was kind of besties with at the time.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Who edited this video? I need to know.
But for her own privacy and safety, I won't say her name. I explained the situation, and soon everyone in the voice call started asking questions. Someone told Insight about what happened, and he ended up joining the voice call as well, and asked me if I wanted to be bait.
So I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. When she made this video, it was already 2 years removed.
These look at each other. Yeah, man. Because that's good. I want to learn to do that.
From the whole situation. So maybe she forgot how that conversation really went. But do you guys remember that VC call that I had showed you guys earlier where it was a bunch of people? That's the VC call that she's alluding to. And in that VC call, it was actually Kayla's idea to where she wanted to be the bait. And the people in the VC were coming up with ideas to...
You don't drop videos anymore, Diesel, so it's fine. Can a man not perform tasks for the sake of performing them, or does everything need to be to make money?
Get EDP to come.
I mean, I do the MPT stuff still, but you know, I definitely need to level up my skills. But I think I need to level up my skills in a lot of things.
Out in person. And then Kayla decided to give herself up as tribute. I'll play the clip.
Do like the first meeting and then they not approach him.
Right.
In public.
Like in public,
and then get his
yeah.
confidence, and then like lure, and then like get him and trap.
Lure him to a hotel.
Right.
Yeah.
Real.
So that would be like.
You still have to get a little.
Hey, listen,
I
listen,
mean,
Inside.
to be honest, I don't mind doing it, and I don't think my parents would mind.
And you will see.
Okay, none of this like actually absolves Jidon in the slightest, right? Like I don't like his audience might be children if they are that rubed by such a bad video. This video is awful. This is awful. These are all bad ideas. Everything they're saying, they should not be saying.
See here how not only the members in the VC call shut that down completely, but also the mod
Yeah, that doesn't sound like discouragement.
She says offered her the role of being bait, also shut it down.
Inside, I have an idea.
know.
Regardless of how
I don't know.
It would be real. That's really a risk. Like high key.
Yeah.
Do not do that under any circumstances.
Okay,
Wait,
listen.
what?
I had a.
Yeah, you shouldn't actually physically be there.
I'm
Yeah.
taller.
Yeah, you would be
Yeah.
subjecting.
I
Technically, they
Especially
would be
since he talks
subjecting
about
you to
weapons.
a pedophile.
So
Yeah, that's the shutting it down.
I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt and say that she's just misremembering it because it was a long time removed.
So, Inside deleted this tweet. Okay. I'm sure you've seen it on other streams. This like instantly makes it worse too. What I'm about to show you. It was logged by Discord, so I need to now find this image and put it on stream. One problem with Vivaldi is that it doesn't like showing pictures. Let's see, can I open this with Vivaldi? No. I'm having an unk moment. I'm unking out. Here we go. I will fix this. I will unt this out. Fucking I'm gonna use Canva's photo editor to put this up. Hold on. Oh no. There we go. This was there we go. I got it. Oh god. This is from Inside. He's responding to someone. Was a bit of luck too. It's wild how EDP just decided to hit on someone from the Discord. We took full advantage of it. These things definitely do not help Jidion's case at all in the slightest. Okay. It does not help. Not at all.
And I don't think she meant any ill will or maliciously lied like that. But yes, this is the evidence. I just want to put that out there to clear the air.
Right? It's like Inside definitely shot it down in that call, but then Inside on Twitter was like, yeah, we got it. It's like, okay, so you discouraged it then and then immediately caved? Because now it just seems like all of you guys were like, yeah, we need to shut this down. And then the second she was like, I'm okay with it, you all were like, she's okay with it. Who gives a shit? It's like, it doesn't matter if she's okay with it, right? Like, just because she said, no, it's fine. Why?
FPS man. Someone sent me. Rooster emoji. Pick what do I do?
Fucking, I guess, share.
Especially for my former mod Inside. And sadly, but also weirdly, this was not the only time that Kayla was trying to be an IRL decoy to meet EDP in person. Since she never gave us the logins nor let us do the plan that we had of switching out the communication, I instead thought of the idea of getting an adult decoy. So that way when EDP came to meet, we could have an adult decoy there. Now, I had asked her to send me some photos of her, and she sent me the
Oh, brother.
Remind me what Diesel's law is again? Eyes emoji.
Diesel's law is certainly strong with this one. Okay.
these photos right here. With these photos, we found an actress that looks fairly similar to her. So I just find it weird that she's saying that we were forcing her to keep on.
I could you imagine they pull off some TCAP thing and EDP445, a man who is known to carry a gun on him, walks into a room to see a minor, and then it's actually a secret sting operation with Skeeter, Gene, and Jidon. Could you imagine what kind of awful scenario could occur?
Talking to EDP when we're jumping through all these different hoops. I mean, if we can find an actress that looks just like her, then why wouldn't we just take over the communication? It just, to me personally, it doesn't make any sense, but again, she might just be misremembering things, so I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. Now, I had sent her a photo of the of-age decoy that we would be using, and she sent me this really weird message. I'm gonna read that message for you real quick, and keep in mind, to my knowledge at least, this is the second time she's asked to meet EDP445 in person. Let me read you what she said.
She's a minor. It's dumb. She's being stupid.
She said, quick question. I was wondering why you need a decoy to lure EDP, because hear me out. If he sees it, he's gonna leave.
Yeah. Why are you treating us like something? She is 16 or 15, right, in these messages. She doesn't know how dangerous that is, okay? What? It doesn't matter if she's saying she wants to be a decoy. It's dangerous. He's a dangerous person. His response is awful, by the way. He's not putting up any effort to shutting her down or explaining why this is bad. She needs adult guidance to learn why this is dangerous and why she can't be there. You can't go, cops aren't going to let you be near it. That's not an answer. That's not an answer, especially for what she's asking.
Meaning if he sees the decoy, he's gonna leave. And if it's actually...
The decoy is to get him in the room. By the time that happens, the police are swarming it and bringing his big fat ass to the floor. Assumedly.
Actually me, I could get him to do devious things on camera.
It doesn't... why did he just respond like that, by the way? Because this is an insane message. This is... admittedly, what this girl is saying is horrifying. What this minor is saying is horrifying. It's scary to hear these things. Why don't you explain why these things can't happen and why this is bad and why you're being ridiculous, right? You need to be a guiding voice as an authority figure to this child.
That he won't be able to deny in court, you know?
That's not good. What? Why his response is so fucking bad?
And since I'm really turning 16 on that day, wouldn't it make it more real? Like I could get him to...
I don't get this. I don't get how people are looking at his response and saying it's good. His audience has to be fucking teenagers. Okay? I don't understand. When I was a teenager, I wasn't this stupid. I really wasn't. But again, times are changing. I'm just lucky I had good people in my life. It's a real shame that she didn't.
To spill the beans because I feel like he'll try to trick the decoy. And I let her know cops aren't going to allow you anywhere near that. I really didn't even know how to respond to that.
Okay, so, you know, when you live life, Jidon, and as you get older and you choose to not be perpetually a teenage boy, you come across conversations that are difficult and hard. And you need to manage this not knowing what to say. I don't always know what to say when somebody tells me something. But if it's my first time in that situation, I will explain what I think or what I would have wanted somebody to explain to me, right? In any kind of situation, you will not have the practice for every social situation. But part of being an adult is basically guessing. Not knowing all the answers, but choosing to be an authority figure and trying your best. Not saying, I don't know what to say, so I chose to say nothing. That is how you truly fuck somebody. That is truly how you doom a young person to never know why it's a problem.
Now, sadly, I couldn't control nor stop her from communicating with EDP445. And that was already worse enough that she was even in communication / talking with him. But I was going to make sure one thing I could control is that she was never going to be anywhere near the vicinity of EDP445. And this is why I'm giving her this strong benefit of the doubt because, bro, if I had to remember things 3 years ago, I would misremember too.
However, rather than treating the situation seriously, Jidon saw it as content.
Now, it really does suck that
I do think that content did dictate a lot of your decision making, Jidon.
Kayla sees it as all I
Yeah, as soon as he said but, that's no accountability. Yeah.
saw was content. And truly, I mean, I didn't just see it as content. I saw it as a monster actually talking to a minor who's a fan of me. So I wanted to do everything in my power to get that man arrested. And I want her to stop being subjected to that monster, which is why I told her to block him.
I told Jidon every single time that EDP would send me dick pics, but he would never tell me to like block him or anything.
I want you to block him on your phone, right?
And I continued messaging him because it was very like encouraged for me to keep doing it. I didn't really want to, but I didn't want to disappoint anybody.
I mean, what are you gonna do from here? You're gonna like
So again, we got to think about what's going through her mind and why she would want to keep doing this, right? She's getting access to Jidon. She's texting Jidon. Why would she want to give it up? She's in a position where she has direct access to a YouTuber she idolized. Like, I don't understand how YouTubers don't understand how, like, their fame dictates how other people treat them and how other people react. Like if you're a little socially aware, if you're not like a fucking humongous idiot, you know, right? And then some people maliciously abuse it, others not so much.
call the police, I guess.
And that is the entire reason why I want to seamlessly transition so that we could take over the communication, because we would do a way better job. And not only
we would do a way better job. I'm driving home from the bar. What you want, Diesel? God damn, I don't think they got anything strong enough, but I could use something.
only that, but a minor would not be talking to a predator anymore. And I don't want to put words in her mouth, so I'm going to let her speak for herself. But I think the reason why she didn't let us just take over and let her be a ghost is because of what she said right here.
Now, me personally, am I an opportunist? Yes, I am.
Yeah, she was getting attention from people. Of course. She was 15, you fucking moron. Of course. They all want that. They all want to be seen. That's part of the experience of being 15.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with that, as long as you're not harming anybody, and I don't think I was harming anybody. And especially when you're my age, if you're 16, people are going to think that you're young and dumb. So you kind of have to be an opportunist. You have
Well, you are, but you definitely you were. It is very annoying that the adults were also just as dumb.
to make your own opportunities. You cannot be waiting for them.
Like Beckett said, she's more honest than him by admitting that.
But this entire situation was not that at all.
Now, I do want to give an update. So, Kayla gave me case numbers and detective numbers to call.
I'll take some rum. I don't like drink. You know, here's the thing. Drinking rum, I feel like the hangovers are real bad. Fucks me up like crazy style. I always wake up the next morning tasting like rum and feeling like the hungover pirate.
Called the detective number and it was disconnected, and took me like till 3 years later to finally find out what police station she went to and everything. And she really doesn't have all the updates and everything, but luckily, since I deal with police so much, I kind of figured it out and figured out where to look. And I can confirm that there is a case number associated with the account, meaning that there wasn't a report made. And also, not only was there a report made, but I confirmed with the police station that this case is currently with the FBI. Now, granted, even though it's with the FBI, I don't know if they're still actively investigating it, and I don't know if they'll do anything with all of this, me personally.
They could sit on it for years, is really just the answer to that one. Feds move slow. They move very slow. And you're not gonna ever know. It'll happen when it happens, and it'll only happen if they can wrap it around something bigger.
So while we can all hope and pray that this situation
Took them 3 years to find a case, by the way. Yeah.
wasn't for nothing, because
All of it is like he can't even find much on it because it's gonna be a sealed report. So
I mean, at the end of the day, she was still groomed. She is still a victim, and EDP needs to be arrested. I don't know if the FBI is going to do anything with the information. Hopefully, with the popularity of the documentary plus his admission, hopefully something happens. We'll just have to wait and see. And even in my first conversation with her, I let her know that for this one, we're going to have to get law enforcement involved because
Rum and regret, a flavor I am too familiar with.
yeah, tell me about it.
we want this to be done away with. We want him to actually be
He
gone.
called the case number like it was a fucking phone number.
I'm not gonna lie, for this one, I feel like we do need to try to get some law enforcement to so this could be the end of this, you know? So,
Yeah, what? Yeah, man. What? Should have been a done did thing.
so I told her to go to law enforcement.
That was not what you said, but okay. You were not explicit. Maybe you were at some point, but not in that clip.
Discord and my mod told her to go to law enforcement, and the people just in my Discord when she first told everybody.
I'm sorry, but it's a little ridiculous to just assume that this girl is gonna act with the rationality of somebody who pays taxes. Okay.
That EDP was talking to her. They also told her to go to law enforcement and report this. But I can say it is reported, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
I feel like I was a victim of EDP, but I think I was mainly a victim. This is gonna sound crazy, but mainly a victim of Jidon in a way. I feel like for a long time I was his little puppet.
I'm not gonna lie, this part of the documentary actually hurt my feelings the most because, you know, she's pretty much saying that I victimized her more than an actual pedophile. I'm not here to fight what she said. You know, if she truly feels like that, then that's how she feels. I know what I did, though. I know I tried to take over communication. I know I told her to go to the police. I know my Discord told her to go to police. And I know we didn't want her to keep...
Why didn't you just call the police? I don't... It's like you're putting all the responsibility... First of all, you're putting so much responsibility on a minor. You're just assuming that they're going to act correctly, right? Why didn't you take the reins, you fucking idiot? I don't know. You should have called the police yourself. Why did you let her do it? You had her number. You probably knew plenty of personal identifying details of her. You spoke to her mother. You could have just fucking called the police yourself.
On talking to him. Also, she's been threatening to sue me a lot lately, in her...
She is 19, and you are a millionaire. She's not suing nothing, but you probably should give her money.
Video that she made about me recently, she threatened that I would be inside of a lawsuit.
I mean, at this point, what does Jidon even pay you for? Especially you inside. I can't wait to see you all inside a lawsuit next.
And
damn.
Somebody in her comment section said, hey, why are you going to sue Jidon but not EDP? And she...
Well, first of all, child asking another child a bunch of fucking comments about this shit. Are you fucking kidding me? All right. Why are you going to sue Jidon but not EDP? First of all, EDP is going to criminal court. That's a completely different thing. What, are you fucking kidding me?
She replied with, EDP doesn't have any money. Yeah, I mean, I really don't know.
Okay, this guy is trying to fucking string this little chick up, okay? He's trying to do that. It's so obvious. Why is it, why even bother going through the effort of saying, don't attack her, guys, don't attack her. And then putting something like that in there, right? She might have felt more maliciously mad at you, right? You could have like tried to figure it out or do something about it, but you decided to sit on this, wait for the documentary to come out, and then say your piece, brother.
What else to say about that, man? You know, if that's how she feels, that's how she feels. She also made the claim that she photoshopped the photo of her on somebody and sent EDP a nude, when I specifically told her to never send him anything explicit.
No, I did not send EDP any pictures of me that were nude. What did happen...
Yeah, he said his piece before the doc, but deleted his VOD.
When he asked me for them, was that Jidon got like a lookalike of me, and I kind of photoshopped her face into Google pictures.
And a year before she did the documentary, so this is her first video coming out about her being the victim of EDP, she states in there that she did send him a nude, but it wasn't her, and that she just got it
I really don't give a shit about the intricacies of whether or not this child sent EDP CSAM. I don't care. EDP should be put through a fucking wood chipper, and you are a fucking moron. You're a fucking idiot. I don't care if this chick is lying. You had all the opportunities. The fact that you never contacted the law enforcement, you could have gone through with all the content you wanted, because it would have gotten bumped up to the feds anyway. This was always getting bumped up to the feds. It was always going to happen. The second you would have called the local municipality police department, they were going to bump it up to the feds. That's just how it is. That's just how it was going to go. But the fact that you like just let her be the driver of the vehicle is crazy. Okay? It is so easy. Literally takes like fucking 2 seconds to contact the police or the FBI. They have all of these ways to do it. They're very good at what they do. Okay? What the fuck?
off of Google because she's quote unquote big brained.
And he even asked for nudes, which the nudes that I sent him weren't mine. They were from Google because, you know, it's big brains, you know?
And the reason why this is making me so frustrated is because I told her multiple times to never say or send anything explicit to him if she was gonna continue talking to him. Luckily, I was on the phone with her the other day and I recorded the conversation and I got her acknowledging that fact. I'm gonna roll the clip. Did you take the picture of yourself or did you go on Google?
No. I did not send anything to anyone.
So you never sent him anything
Absolutely
sexual?
not. I think, I will say this, you even told me not to do that, because the idea was for him to, like...
Jidon's pressed because it makes him look bad, but I'm not surprised that she is lying if she is, right? I'm not surprised, okay? He's surprised that this little girl is lying to him. Why would he not be surprised? I don't really see why you would assume that she would be truthful with you.
So she kept asking, you know, so we were trying to figure out something.
I told you to never send him anything sexual, correct?
Yes.
And so we went back in the archives of my Discord to see things that she sent to show people that, you know, she was talking to EDP. And before we were even aware of the situation, I saw this one screenshot where on her Instagram.
Yeah, she's doing I didn't take a picture. I didn't send anything to anyone. She didn't say, I never sent a single picture at all. Yeah.
Instagram, she sent him a photo and obviously it was in disappear mode, so you can't tell what she sent to him.
Basically, it's her parent. Like I said, I said this before you got in here, chatter, but like the parents are clearly older. They don't speak English. Okay, they probably are completely unaware of what this stuff is. They don't know. Okay, there's a lot of parents of a lot of people who are just completely unaware. And it's not that they're bad parents. Okay, it's that you can't be an expert in everything. And it's okay to not be an expert in everything. We seem to have normalized this want to be an expert in everything. Okay, but they're not gonna be. And it's okay for them to not know who the fuck Jidon or Skeeter Jean or Eat That Pussy 445 are. So I don't really want to say that the parents are to blame here. Not really. Jidon had a fuller picture. Skeeter Jean had a fuller picture. they had a much better understanding of the situation than a parent who was not speaking English as a first language. Okay.
But you could tell by his reply that it was something. And I mean, oh my gosh, man. The fact that she could have potentially been sending that stuff to him before we got involved is very, very, very disturbing. It's disturbing if she sent anything to him regardless. So Kayla just dropped a new video, and I just want to give her a huge shout out because she again admits that I told her not to send anything explicit to EDP.
As for the nudes, so this is the part in the documentary that kind of weirded me out because I believe it was cut out. I recall saying that the idea of having my face like on a decoy's body, I recall saying that idea was...
Yeah, I said that though. I said he's culpable. Yeah, you said he's culpable, but you also placed blame at the parents. I really, like, I don't agree with the parents being at blame here. If the parents were doing something or they were abusive, that's a different story, and I think that's a completely valid conversation if that's the case. But it doesn't seem to be, as far as we know, based on all available evidence. It's also not what's really being litigated anyway.
Up, but it was never fully like gone through with. But they cut that part out, maybe for shock factor. I did say that though, and so I don't know why they cut that out. That was kind of weird. But that's that. I mean, I never sent him anything.
And he even asked for nudes, which the nudes that I sent him weren't mine. They were from Google because, you know, big brains, you know?
She also made some other claims as well. She kept on saying that I'm in like the Illuminati.
As for the Illuminati, that is not something I want to talk about right now. I will talk about it in code, but this is the first and last time I've...
I find it very funny that a 19-year-old has been radicalized to believe in conspiracy theories, and watches like people like Neon and Jidon and speaks like that. That's really funny.
Probably will ever talk about it because simply, I don't want to die. I don't...
Dude. Yeah, man, I think you're a little low on the list.
I do kind of fear for my life.
So first, to address the Illuminati claim, first, I don't think the Illuminati is going to be adding in a YouTuber that goes out and arrests child predators.
You'd actually be surprised. They have plenty of people who like to say they're altruistic in the deep state.
And then second, I believe in Jesus Christ. He's my Lord.
That... This is a clown show. This is an absolute clown show. I love being a lapsed Catholic. I almost feel like a smug sense of superiority. All right. I feel such a smug sense of superiority when people in YouTube videos go, I have Jesus Christ in my life. I'm fine. All I can think is like, this motherfucker ain't no shit. He ain't no shit.
Lord and Savior. And then third, to my knowledge, the Illuminati is a whole group of Satanists, right? And
I mean, the Illuminati and the Freemasons kind of get compared together. But if you know and learn anything about the Freemasons, they're more like Gnostic mystics who have like Christian angles, you know?
And what's funny about that is, I don't know if Kayla still is or not, but she used to be, or she might still be, a Satanist.
Are you disabled? She was 15. You're telling me that a 15-year-old Latina was a Satanist? Interesting. I bet you she was raised in a Christian house. I wonder why the 15-year-old would say she's a Satanist. Limit break. Call him a tard. I tried Zoroastrianism as a teen, emphasis on tried. Listen, I guarantee you, first of all, if we're gonna go off of... I have a copy of the Satanic Bible by Anton LaVey on my bookshelf. I have read the Satanist Bible. Okay? Here, I'll pull it out now. Okay? They are atheists. He's very open about that, okay? Let's see. This is who wrote this? Called the Black Pope by many of his followers, Anton LaVey began on the road to high priesthood in the Church of Satan when he was only 16 years old. I'm reading this verbatim. And an organ player in a carnival. And this is a quote. On Saturday night, I would see men lusting after half-naked girls dancing at the carnival. And on Sunday morning, when I was playing the organ for a tent show, the evangelicist at the other end of the carnival lot would see these same men sitting in the pews with their wives and children, asking God to forgive them and to purge them of their carnal desires. And the next Saturday night, they'd be back at the carnival or some other place of indulgence. I knew then that the Christian church thrives on hypocrisy and that man's carnal nature will out. From that time, early in his life, his path was clear. Finally, on the last night of April 1966, the Walpurgisnacht, it's some German thing, the most important festival for believers in witchcraft, LaVey shaved his head in the tradition of ancient executioners and announced the formation of the Church of Satan. He had seen a need for a church that would recapture man's body and his carnal desires and objects of celebration. Since worship of fleshly things produces pleasure, he said, there would be a temple to glorious indulgence. And if you read this, and it is an interesting one, and you read what Anton is about, it is a religion, it is a philosophy. This is a philosophy that speaks out against Christian Puritanism, and everything in it is about that, right? Okay, hold on. Here, I'll pull up let's go to a section. Okay, so a lot of this stuff, I know that this is all going to sound like Reddit atheist stuff that I'm about to read, but you got to understand that this guy was doing this when it was actually new. Okay? He and a few other, like, the philosophers of the time, the psychologists of the time, were already debating and talking about these things, about the death of God, right? It is a philosophy first, but it is more like encouraging hedonism and respect, right? So I think the tenets are in here. Let me see. It's page 25. Okay. So I'm going to read, and again, this is also to be deliberately like trying to piss off the Christians. Let's see. This is very tongue in cheek, by the way. You would have to be like an idiot to not recognize that he is being deliberately like trying to piss people off, right? He seems a bit special. So Anton and some of his progenitors, like Aleister Crowley, a lot of this grew out of the free love movement, of the hippies, of the, you know, pushback against these beliefs that predated and existed, right? Say what you will about the boomers, when they were doing Woodstock, when they were talking out against the ills, they were talking out against some serious social ills of the time. They were speaking out against, you know, like people with disabilities being disenfranchised. Many of them were talking about civil rights and why Jim Crow needed to die. A lot of the people that were speaking out about this would engage with things like this deliberately to push back against the Puritanism that kind of predominated a lot of American life. It is a quintessentially very American thing to be a Satanist. Their headquarters is near me, right? It's literally an office. You can't go there, but and yet they fucked us all. Yeah, time turns every man old and evil, huh? It'll happen to me too. Let me read the satanic tenets, right? So, Satan represents indulgence instead of abstinence. Satan represents vital existence instead of spiritual pipe dreams. So basically, instead of like pursuing a certain belief to reach heaven, you should pursue a life
Crowley
here on
is
earth.
like the Freud of this movement.
Yes.
He was an absolute loser.
Yes.
But his ideas were the basis for what it became
Yes,
under Law
so
Day.
true. That is a really good comparison, Mac. Satan represents undefiled wisdom instead of hypocritical self-deceit. Basically, if you are a Satanist, you should pursue education and learning rather than lie to yourself by going back to the Bible, is what he's saying. He's saying that you should look towards more ways of learning, right? And he explains these things, so I'm not like speaking out of my ass here, right? Here's another interesting one. Satan represents kindness to all those who deserve it, instead of love wasted on ingrates. Satan represents vengeance instead of turning the other cheek. Satan represents responsibility to the responsible, instead of concern for psychic vampires. Satan represents man as just another animal, sometimes better, more often worse than those that walk on all fours, who, because of his, quote, divine spiritual and intellectual development, has become the most vicious animal of all. Satan represents all of the so-called sins, as all lead to physical, mental, or emotional gratification. Satan has been the best friend of the church that the church has ever had, as he has kept them in business all these years. The Gnostic stuff is very hard to understand. I have been trying to understand it because I am interested in a anthropological sense, but it is difficult. And there's a whole section in here about Satanists, you know, don't want to focus on prayer. They're focused on deeds, right? And it's in the chapter called Wanted, God, Dead or Alive, where Satanists and the tenets of Satanism say that you should rebuke using prayer or hoping for action to occur and instead be the catalyst of the action, right? So instead of waiting for somebody to help someone, you help them, right? So it's very clear to understand that this is like the origin of like a lot of modern neo-pagan beliefs come from stuff like this, come from stuff like Crowley. There's other books too. you see a lot of Western pagan beliefs from Americans. A lot of it is this, and then a few other things, a few other books. Don't even get me started on real life vampires. I know Strange Aeons has a video on real life vampires, but you'd be surprised about the overlap between these guys and those guys. Any of you who are Wiccan are neo-pagan, because it's not. It's like the notion of like paganism in a certain time, not specifically one thing. You know, like you don't bloodlet sheep for a good harvest. You have a spell and manifest it for your job, you know. But yes, it's a very interesting read. Anyway, point being, not only do I not think she's actually a Satanist, this is such a deliberately malicious thing to throw at a 15-year-old. It's crazy.
She had it in her profile right there. So like, I don't understand why she keeps on saying I'm in the Illuminati.
She is 15 then, and then she's like 19 now. She might have had a religious reawakening. There's a lot of people who have.
She herself is an admitted Satanist.
Yeah, but witches are lame. I'm gonna be an alchemist. All right, man. You're just doing a different class, okay? You're still playing the same game.
Yeah, but no, it's Christ gang all day over here, man. But yeah, this is the end of the video, man. Please, nobody.
I would argue that aside from Jidion's, Jidon applies to more of the Satanist tenets than he does to the Ten Commandments. More of these apply to Jidon than the King James, brother.
Her any hate at all. I think we just all want to move past this situation, and I'm gonna be posting my reaction to the EDP video, the documentary. Everybody's like, oh, he's scared to react to it. No, I'm not scared to react to it. I've just been so busy, bro. We've caught 2 preds so far this week alone, and we got more to go. And today I've been busy. Also, I want to give a huge
Yeah, I said it earlier, but Jesus would have wanted you to call the police.
shout out to Kayla, man. I wish her nothing but the best. She is not only a med student, but she's also a law student at the same time.
Wow, that's scary. But she's 19, so you know, maybe she'll grow out of it. I will say I've met a lot of med students or people who go into nursing that are absolute wackos.
Doing her music career, she's doing it all, man. So huge shout out to her. And there is a police report. I don't know if they're gonna do anything.
This guy is like, I know what she goes to school for. I know that she's in fucking law school and med school. Find her.
Thing with it or not, I don't know.
He is like one of the oldest looking 26-year-olds. Yeah, man, he needs a fucking hair transplant. Give this guy a trip to Turkey.
I don't know. Only Kayla.
You looking like the milk duddy professor.
Can get the updates from the FBI. So that's on her. I'm not gonna have any more contact with her or anything, and I'm not talking about the situation ever again.
We need more lady sorcerers. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. This is a copy that my ex gave to me. She was based, super based.
Who is more Christian, Jidon or Melanie Mack?
Fucking, are you fucking kidding me? These are all like fake Christians, man. I don't. Neither of them. They're all performative Protestants. They're all Protestant Andes.
Unless EDP gets arrested, then
He looks like he's gonna hire 3 chipmunks to become superstars.
I'll make an update. But yeah, y'all, I love you guys. Y'all be safe. Peace.
Wow, what a mess. What a mess. What an absolute fucking disaster. What an absolute disaster. Yeah, I don't think okay, so here's my take on the EDP weight thing. Okay? I think that the 445 is actually from his area code. I think that's his area code. I think EDP445, I think the 445 is an area code. I don't think it's his weight. That's what I think. I don't know what the Philadelphia area code is or something, but that's where I think that comes from. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I always thought, so. Wow. .445 is Philly. Yeah, so he's lying. That was a lie. Because he lives in Philly. I'm pretty sure he lives in Philly. Yeah, 445 is Philadelphia area code. Yeah, so his fucking, because he's heavier than that. This guy is, this fucking freak pedophile is more insecure about his weight than the fact that he grooms children. All right? He's not from Philly, he's from Vegas. I was under the impression he used to live in Philly at some point, which is why he has the, like, love for the Eagles. Because that's his team. That's, like, his team. That's his ride or die. But that's what I would think. Faker doesn't... Yeah, he's a LARPer, bro. He's a LARPer. God. No, he just decided to like that team. Yeah, he woke up one day and was like, Eagles. He was born in Compton. You guys are lying. You guys are lying. You know, he likes the Eagles because the logo looks best. I believe that. He's from Bakersfield. Yeah, maybe. Dude, he's a Philly LARPer. First Philly LARPer in existence. I know he said it was from his weight in the dock, but... No, he's straight out of Compton. Oh. He's actually from Peru. Alright, guys. Keep lying to me. See how it is. See what happens. I'll be back tomorrow for a Rare Tuesday stream. So, you'll be able to see me then. But I'm going to bed.